Okay, having a look at reducing balance loans. So like I mentioned in my Hungarian algorithm questions video, this is probably up in my predicted questions that will be in the external exam along with Hungarian algorithm. And so I thought I'd go through this type of question. It's one I'm commonly asked about. So I've started with a fairly simple version of it just to show the process. So rather than having monthly or fortnightly payments, I'm just going with yearly just so you can see the process. So in this case, we've got a loan of $25,000. We've got 7.5% per annum, yearly payments over 10 years. And we want to work out how much the repayments are. So often when students see this question, they get a little bit confused because we don't have an ending value. So if we have paid off our loan, then we have $0 to repay. So this A here is the amount left to repay. So if we've got 0 there, we can put in the rest that we know. So we know that we've borrowed $25,000. We have 1 plus I. Now in this case, our I is 7.5%. I always like to change that to 0.075 first. And if I had not yearly payments here, if I had monthly or fortnightly, I would also have to divide that by the number of payments per year. It's yearly, I'm keeping it simple, so I've got 0.075 here. My N then is the number of payments, so in 10 years that would be 10. Obviously if we had monthly payments, in 10 years that would be 120. So remembering to change your N value to reflect the compounding that you have. Then we've got here our M is for repayments. You'll also sometimes see that as an R. On the formula sheet we've got the M there, so that's why I've used that. We don't know what that is, that's what we're trying to work out. And so we have the 1 plus 0.075 to the power of 10, and we're taking away 1 there, and we are dividing by 0.075. So I'm going to grab my calculator and work out this part here. So I've got 1.075, and I'm raising that because that's my 1 plus 0.075. I could also just enter that straight into my, with the brackets. So if I put 25,000, and then I've got 1 plus 0.075, bracket to the power of 10. So I can do that all in one go, and I get 51525.79. And I'm taking away M times, and I'm going to work this part out here. So I'm going to put that straight into my calculator as well. So I can open bracket. I can see I've got another bracket, so I'll put that straight in. 1 plus 0.075, close bracket, and I just missed a number there. Bracket to the power of 10. I'm going to take away 1, close the bracket, and divide by 0.075. And I get 14.14, and I'm going to keep the 7 there too, 14.147. So now I've got that 0 is equal to 51525.79, take away M times that. So I can add that over here, so M times 14.147 is equal to 51525.79. Those who have looked at my work solutions will also notice sometimes I just put this part straight over to the other side and say that is equal to that, because if I've got nothing left to pay, I know that this part of the equation must be equal to that part of the equation. So now to get the M on its own, I'm going to divide my 51525.79 by the 14.147, and that gives me $3,642.15 per year. So that's the process you'll go through to solve for repayments. Obviously, you can see more complicated ones where you have to change your I and your N if it's compounding weekly, monthly, fortnightly, etc. But that's the main process to use. Obviously, you can also use that if you are solving for, say, how much was borrowed, or and you knew the repayments, or how much was left, or the tricky one is finding the I. I would not expect to see the solving for I or N in the exam, but obviously they are options as well. And usually you would be doing by trial and error. So that takes a little bit more time. Hopefully that helps with your reducing balance loans questions.